I'll let you take it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Sandesh, as you already told me, and some of you already might know me, some of you are my friends. How are you guys, by the way? Good? Gonna be a stormy day, gonna be a rainy day, bad day, definitely, but I will make it good. So data analytics, all about numbers, statistics, all thing about cool thing, and you might be thinking, this is gonna be a boring day at class. Not gonna be boring, I'm gonna make it fun, okay? Because you're gonna find out the power of data in real life, how data is transforming your life, how data is making life easier, and how powerful it is, okay? And welcome to everyone on the Zoom also. I'm gonna start with how I started my journey, like how I got into this thing, like how, what made me to dive into this field so much. CIS major. One good thing about CIS is it got broad branches, If you are in a CIS, you can be data analyst, you can be system analyst, programmer, game developer, you name it. There is an application of CIS. And that's the problem, meaning, where should I go? Like there's a lot of branches, it's very hard to find that specialized field and just to, dig into that. I was going through that trouble. And I was just taking every classes in the CIS, like just to try, okay, what is this field? What is database? What is networking? What is data analytics? I came to this class. You might have heard about this, CIS 317. I don't know, most of you might be senior or definitely graduating, but you can take this class because the prerequisite for this class is just QBA 283. So I think any major, any people can join this class. So we did something called simple linear regression. I think everybody has done QBA 283. Everybody, yeah? They have to do that. So you're familiar with this term, simple linear regression, yeah? You got this quantity data, and you try to predict like how much we made the sales, and you have that y equals to mx plus c r squared, positively related, negatively related. So I did the same thing. And we solved a business problem, like, we got some group project in that class, and we solved some business problem, like using that linear regression. And I think that was the eye-opening for me. But why? Is that, I don't know, when is your first time you heard about this linear regression? I love math, I don't hate math, I love math, I appreciate math, but I'm not like a pro at math also. Like this thing I have seen was in like maybe around grade 8 or 9 somewhere, but at that time I didn't knew that, like, oh, this is used to do these kind of things. We're just like a mathematical solving problem, getting answer, The thing that I feared was, what's my answer? Is it right to the answer or not? But whenever I realized, wow, there is an application, like we predicted the patient wait time in that one project. And that's a big deal, If you can predict how much a patient has to wait, then you can reduce that, or you can, make some decision so that you can reduce that wait time. So that was like mind blown, like this thing, which I have learned in a grade 8, can be used in such business and can give me such powerful tool. I didn't stop because I was so curious in this field. You might have about something called data camp. Have you ever? If you haven't, it's nothing. It's like a website. You go there are some like videos. You watch that video. You do some programming or like learn something, and you can learn like R, which is a programming language, Python, which is another programming language, Tableau, which is, you might have heard about that dashboarding thing. So you can learn anything. So I went there and I did. I completed this course, and it took me about 8 months because it was pretty long. And I have to like manage time, like I have a school also, and I have to complete this also. So I just took it in a smaller pace, and I took almost 8 months. I also took some like classes related to the data analytics. Like we have in college a business intelligence class, in which they teach us totally about visualizing everything in a Tableau. Like how to make a good dashboard. What are the key components of visualization, everything. I did some independent study. Last semester, I did an independent study with Dr. Anne-Marie. this semester I'm doing independent study with Dr. Chris Castille. So I'm doing some couple of research. And I did some certification. I'm a Tableau certified desktop specialist. I read thousands of articles, you know, like, because I was so curious in this field and I'm still learning. I feel like I haven't touched like a 5% of data analytics, like all this, but I haven't touched even a 5%. So what is data analysis? Like what do you understand whenever I say data analysis? Like what comes into your mind? Anybody want to share? Like anything like random thought? Like, you know, like if I say data analysis.
Basically what the data is about.
Like data about, yeah. Like exploring the data, you know, finding the pattern or finding the behavior in the data. And that's it. That's the right answer. That's it's all about. I copied it from Wikipedia. Yeah. Sorry about that, but we all do that. But I like the definition. You know, I like the definition. It was even in a Wikipedia, and we all know that it's not that reliable source. But I really love the definition of the Wikipedia. It says process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information. That is all about data analysis, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, you name it. Let me tell you one thing, whenever somebody says artificial intelligence, or you heard in the news, artificial intelligence did this, and you're like, wow, rocket science, I could never do that. Trust me, they could do that. It's not a rocket science. Because I was the same person, you know, thinking the same thing, like, you know, before I was joining the data analytics, I was like, you know, they made something like this model which could, like, you know, distinguish cat's images versus dog images, which could distinguish like who is in the picture, who is in the photo, and I was like, wow. But trust me, there are always two sides of this field. One is like an applied side, one is like a research side. And I'm more focused on the research side. Like, they make the tool, they make the hammer, I use the hammer, okay? And that's the key component. So let's revise this definition. So inspecting. First of all, you gotta find the problem, you know? What's your problem? Like, I mean, what's happening? What's the problem? You gotta find out. Then you gotta find the right data. Like, is that data right to solve my problem? Like if you are doing customer satisfaction and you are, so you need the data from the customer, yeah? Not the like a demographic from where the customer lives. So that's the key component. You need to find the exact problem and you need to find the exact like a right data like which fits your problem. Then you gotta clean it. Nobody gives you a clean data in real life. They'll just throw you a bunch of random Excel files. Clean it. And that's the hardest problem. And I think on a data analytics, 80% or about 70% of the time you spend is on this part, which is not that cool, but like, you know, but that's the whole truth, you know, because they say you have to like, and how you clean that data, sometimes you transform, meaning sometimes the data might not be in a right way that you want. For example, it's a data, it should be generally in a numeric form, yeah, like that's how the computer processes. And so, for example, I have a response in which it says very good, very bad, poor. Then I need to find a way to convert that into some numbers. For example, if I say very good as a 5, you know, bad as a 0, you know, I gotta convert. So I gotta transform some of the variables. And modeling simply means we put it on like a simple linear regression. And there are thousands of algorithms similar to simple linear regression. Simple linear regression is one of the easiest and one of the basics algorithms, but there are thousands. Okay. And the last most important thing is whenever you have that solution, so you solve the simple linear regression, you find the R squared, you find, okay, this is significantly, but if you cannot understand what does that significant means, like what does that like, okay, you know, GPA is significant in finding out the success rate of students. What does that mean? So that's also the most important skills. Like you gotta look at that results and find the conclusion, like decision from that result. It's not about just doing simple linear regression in Excel. It's the easiest part. But to find the answer from that answer, that's the hard part. So why it is a good choice? Like everybody talks about the data analytics, they start, LinkedIn, doing data analytics, boom, anywhere, glassdoor.com, anywhere. Why? You see this highlighted thing? I'll read it for you. Predicted that the number of analytics and data science positions in the US alone would increase by 364,000 to 2.7 million by 2020. This is by MIT Sloan Management Review. I think this is a little bit old, but this will keep growing. That's how the growth is in data analytics. So why this is growing? Because of this thing. Data is the new oil of digital economy. The company that has data, like how oil was at some time, back in the past, it was like whoever country can produce more oil was the top of the world, like the developed country had the more good economy. Now, whatever company or like a firm, they have like that good amount of data. Give me any company in the top list, and I'll show you like how they are using the data. Amazon, Facebook, Yahoo, not that Yahoo is a little bit down, but Netflix. Every company, they have the good data. They know how to collect the data from you. Apple, they know how to collect the data from you. And every time you are on the phone clicking on something, there is something stored in the database every time. Every time you open an app, it's logged into the back into the system saying this guy opened this app at 11:55 p.m. on this date, everything. So that's the power. And if you have that asset, that's an asset, and you can utilize that. And I know some of the companies are utilizing it in a great extent, and you can see the results where they are right now. Money matters at the end, money is money. I always say money is not everything, but money is something, It's really, it's not the everything in the world, but it's a something. It makes life easier. It gives you more confidence. There's a good money, by the way. It's not like you go into data analytics and you are like, oh, there is no good money. No, there is good money because the supply is less and the demand is high. Economics 211, supply less, demand high, price up. Simple economics. And that's what's happening. And this is the average for the US. So there might be a little bit less in Louisiana. Okay. So this might not be accurate for the Louisiana. But if we compare it with the other business career, like a finance and analyst, accounting, marketing, management, this is still in the top. Don't change career. Now why? Why this guy is turning up this thing, taking a U-turn? He has been telling like a data analytics is a this, good money, good demand, good, everything is good in this field. Why you are saying now don't change career? I just want to go to the advisor and say, change my career to data analytics. I'm going to do minor in data analytics. But why this guy is saying don't change careers? You don't have to change career to be a pro in data analytics. As I already gave you the example, data analytics is a hammer. Doesn't matter who you are, if you know how to use the hammer, you can break anything. That's the key thing. Because it is applied in the various fields. Any field. Nowadays, I see any field. I look in the news, I see in any field, they say, AI has done this, data analytics has done this. Every field, I couldn't see any field like they haven't utilized the data. Let's go to marketing. Customer segmentation. I'm not a marketing major, but I have done marketing 301, basic marketing. And the one thing that I will never forget is customer segmentation. That's the key component. That's the whole key, yeah? How you can target the right people with the right information. How do you know who is what's the thing that you need to find out the right fit? Data. But does the data give you the answer? No. You gotta analyze the data. You gotta find a pattern in the data. And to find a pattern in the data, data analysis is the tool set. So that's the key thing. This is a digital world, you all know that we don't do anything in a hand, in a paper, in a pencil. We do everything, and everything is digital. And nowadays we are collecting this huge amount of data. Like everyone is collecting the data. You see that cookie thing whenever you open up the website, that's also collecting the data, by the way. Everything, even I use a small website, everything they are collecting the data. Why? Because they know the value of data. Data is an asset, and if that could be utilized using this data analytics tool, that could be a huge for a company. Like you can see, you can segment the better than this on this topic. I know that you are marketing major, but see that you have this whole bunch of Excel file about your customer data. You cannot do manually segment the thing. You need some powerful tool, and that tool is given by the data analysis. Management, employee attrition and retention, and this could be also in the marketing, like a customer retention. You have this whole set of data of the customer who left and who are still with us. You can find the pattern in that data, like what kind of customer leave us, like is it the customer from that geographic zone? Is it the customer whose median income is less than 50,000? Something, those kind of patterns is hidden in that big Excel file, So how do you find that like a pattern like that? A small pattern. You cannot do it by your eyes. I know that. So data analysis or data analytics toolkit is needed. Finance, fraud detection, which is a big deal. Definitely in finance is growing field. People are also trying to predict the stock market, but they are not quite capable because it's more fluctuating always. But whenever you swipe up a card in Walmart, whenever, just try it, you swipe your card, go tomorrow and swipe for $5,000 in a credit card, it will reject. Not because you don't have money. You have money, you have a credit balance of 10,000, but it will reject, because the data company in the back end, like a financial company in the back end knows every time you go to the Walmart, you spend $500. Like from where this guy is paying $5,000 out of nowhere. So that's kind of red flag because they have the data. If they didn't have the data, if they don't know your buying pattern, how do they know 5,000 is like a different, it's like an outlier? How do they know? That's from the data. And that's why they call you, sir, are you spending 5,000 in Walmart? Yes, what you buying? I don't know. No. E-commerce, oh, Netflix. I love that, I click on some movie, I watch the movie, and it's like, I want to watch the same movie, I scroll down and I see wow, thank God, wow, there is this recommendation engine, they call it, like a term, like a technical term. Whenever you click one movie, they register this guy always watches action thriller movie. So always recommend action thriller movies to this guy. In action thriller, this guy watches The Rock's movie only. Recommend The Rock movie one. That's the power of data, because it shows your behavior, your pattern, and that pattern can be learned. Healthcare. This is something interesting, something new topic, and this is also I have seen in a major, lots of colleges health informatics, there's this kind of career. I have also seen accounting, analytics, they are just adding all the analytics thing on every career. You have seen financial analytics also, they are kind of adding everything because they know this thing is applied everywhere, So like a predicting risk, you have a patient, lying on a bed, you have this history of data like this, then you can predict, okay, this is not that bad condition, something like that. You can know what was that guy's allergy, so that you can do further inspection on that disease. So those kind of things. And the main thing that I always say is, you don't have to change career to be in a data analytics. I always say it's a tool set. You can use it in any field, in any domain. Just know the right tools that you need What are the right tools? You know, what are the right tools? Like, what do you think the first tool is gonna be? Anybody has an idea?
Patience.
Sorry?
Patience.
Oh, that's a deep answer. I love that answer. Definitely, you need a patience anywhere. Like the technological skills. Like any technical skills, what do you think? What kind of skills might be needed?
Excel,
Sorry?
like knowing Excel.
Excel, that's good. That's good. Do you know what's the last row of Excel? Like the final row of Excel? Like you cannot go below that row. It's something 1 million something. So if you have a data more than 1 million, Excel is not. Like Excel is there. You can do that. You go to the Excel, go to the first, I think Control-Shift and down arrow. You'll go to all the way to the bottom. So yeah, it's good on the small purpose, but you have the old big data, you know, because it's really big. That's why for those things, we need programming, to be honest. Because programming, this software like a programming, like you have a R programming or Python programming, this software can handle any amount of data. How many rows? I don't care. R is like, I don't care, throw me the rows. If you throw Excel like a, I remember on that CIS 370 class, we had like a 90,000 rows. And my Excel like always froze. I was like, you know, I do something, it froze. I have to repeat that one more time. I was like, ugh. You'll have that same kind of feeling whenever you have a big data, like a lots of files, and you are doing that in Excel. I'm not saying Excel is bad. I do mine like a lot of data cleaning in Excel because it's so easy. It's so like, you know, we know all of it. But like, it depends what I'm dealing with. How much is my data? If I'm dealing with a large amount of data, definitely I wouldn't do it with Excel. I'll learn R, I'll learn other tools because I know, you know, Excel will not be capable of doing that thing. So R is a programming language. You might have heard it somewhere around, you know, around the college or in the internet. Python, you might have heard that a lot, you know, because it's easy language and it's like English. You write it like how you write English. It's easy, boom. And I know whenever I say programming, people are like, nah, this is not good. This is not right. Like, I feel like this is like so much hard, like, you know, lots of people, whenever I talk about programming or like, you know, technical, they're like, trust me, it's not that bad. You have never tried, that's why you are saying nah, because, you know, everybody says programming is hard. No, this is 21st century, it's not 1990. We have developed much easier tools to do the programming. Okay, so you have to think about that. Oh, without this, machine learning, artificial intelligence is nothing. Nothing. This has been here for decades and decades and centuries, statistics. Without this, the artificial intelligence wouldn't have created, I know that for sure. This is like the base foundation of the artificial intelligence. So if somebody says, I have used AI to do something, they use statistics. They might have used linear regression too. You know, I have heard that. People say, I have done artificial intelligence to do that. And whenever you read all those things in a research paper, they just have used some linear regression or like a linear model kind of things, you know. So you have done that thing. Everything on these two classes are very important. Data visualization. A picture is 1,000 words, definitely, and so you need to know like always what is the right way to visualize the data. You know, you can say 1,000 things from a picture, you know, from then a paragraph or something like that. And definitely domain knowledge. You need to know like what field you are working in. If you are in marketing and you are doing trying to do solve marketing problem, then you need to know what is customer, customer segmentation and all those marketing terminologies. So domain knowledge is also necessary. Okay. Have anybody here thought about this thing? People analytics lab. You heard that? I know. Anybody else? Yeah, this is in a little bit of said. So it's applied, let me just go this way. This is applied social science lab, and it looks like we are doing something on industrial and organizational psychology. And doesn't go, don't look at the definition of that. That's just the definition to put, but we do really, really diverse works also in this field. We are doing like a student attrition modeling, employee retention modeling. So we do those kind of things, management, organization, marketing problem, also like kind of business domain problem. But as being a CIS major, I always wanted to like find the problem and solve the problem using the data tools. That's what my real goal. I don't care like whatever field it is. I'll learn it. I'll do my best to grab the knowledge. But the main thing is learning these tools. R programming, Jupyter Notebook programming, R Studio. It's like an application, like a Photoshop, wherever you do like a kind of programming. GitHub, it's kind of sharing project management tool. Slack, you might have heard about this, messaging tool. Trello, similar. Let me tell you, like you have two people, one just graduated from marketing, it's just a plain major, and one has a marketing plus these tools. I'll guarantee you 110% that HR gonna pick up this guy with the technological tools, because he knows in his office there is a computer, there is a digital data. If somebody knows how to use that data in the right way, I'll go for this, not for this. So this is a good skill set. If you have this thing in your pocket, you can earn good money. There's a lot of growth. And other good thing about a PAL is research work done in a PAL can be credited by independent study. If you are interested in doing some solving some organizational problem using data tools and want to learn more about what are the project management and data analytics tools, you can do in PAL. And a good thing is it can be credited like as an independent study. So you'll also get like a 3 credit hours of coursework, completing further. Okay. Now what we did at PAL, like last semester we did something called student attrition modeling. So like we were trying to predict what are the factors that makes Nicholls student leave Nicholls. Why people are leaving? Why students leave our college? So we have this dependent variable, meaning y variable, like you have in a regression, linear regression, y number of x. So y variable was exit, meaning does the student left or that the student is with us, like S or no. And on our independent variable, we have like high school GPA, ACT score, scholarships, and bunch of other variables. So we're trying to predict what are the factors that making the students leave. This is what we found. Let me read it for you. So what does it, how do we analyze this thing? So out of step plus, meaning the factor is positively associated with voluntary exit. The more the sign, the stronger the association. Meaning, out of step students were more prone to leave Nicholls. Makes sense to me. People doesn't, maybe most of the people from out of state doesn't like Asian food. We don't know. Maybe they cannot, kind of absorb in this culture of out of state. Maybe they miss their family, they are homesick, something kind of thing. Institutional scholarship negative, meaning those who have institutional scholarship, they are not leaving college, they are staying with us. Again, makes sense. If I have a good scholarship, I'll definitely try to complete my degree, try to get my degree, I'll finish it off. First generation students plus, meaning like those who are first generation students, they are more prone to leaving. Kind of maybe they are the first, like a first student going to the college to get a degree. They might not have in their family to support them, like, okay, this happens in a college, like be patient, and just be patient, don't be so furious, you're gonna go through this. Like just stay calm, we're gonna get it. Like maybe they don't have because maybe they don't have somebody who has experience like that. High school GPA, negative meaning those who have a high school, more high school GPA or high school GPA, they are less prone to leave. And maybe they are good at studying, they love studying, they want to do something in that field. That's why that they want to complete their degree. In like a TOPS, again the scholarship, same way. Like if somebody has TOPS, then they are not prone to leave. They are like I'm staying in our university. Now, the main thing you see, like without that data analysis tool set, we done everything this in a hour, by the way, and we got this data. How would we know that? Like out of the state students were more prone to leave. Can you just find out? Like it's so hard, But with the data tools, we did this thing in just 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we can have something, and we can tell our administration, look, you gotta focus to the out of state students. Look, you gotta focus to the first generation students. Look, you gotta focus to the person who has or maybe who doesn't have a scholarship. That's a good thing. They can make a decision. We can show this to the advisor. Somebody might come, he knows this thing. Okay, this guy is the probability, and we can find the probability of each student leaving. We can also find that. Our student advisor looks, the probability of leaving this student is like a 90% red flag, And he will also know the factors that making them leave. Then he can act accordingly. Maybe if financial things, they can have some financial aid, financial hardship kind of thing, they can act at the right time. And for a college to retain students, it's a big thing for every perspective. So I want to ask something here. Have you had any of your friends like left Nicholls and they gave you some kind of reasons, like maybe friends, maybe anybody like has those kinds of experiences?
A girl in my sorority, she left Nicholls to go back to Southeastern because she wanted to save money and live at home because she's from Camden. Okay,
so yeah, again, financial things. And anything else? Anybody else has any experience? Anybody like? I know there are not a lot of students leaving Nicholls, so definitely that's a good thing. But yeah, I have found the similar reasons from the response from the whenever I did the presentation also, some people are saying because they're having financial hardship because they are from out of state, and because they are from because their high school GPA was not that good, and they are working somewhere and they thought I don't need a degree to work, I'm just getting a good job and good working thing, I have good money, I don't need a degree for that, to be in that job. So similar kind of responses I have found, and which is good because I can validate my finding, okay, this is matching to the population data also. So what are we working towards is that again, for any model, modeling means making a regression model. Whenever somebody says model or modeling thing, this word means making something like a linear regression or something similar. We need more data is always good. Definitely, if you have more data, it means we'll see more patterns. So we did this experiment on a smaller amount of data. So now we want to collect more and more data to find more and more patterns. Like we want to find student engagement, employment, etc. data. Like for example, if you are engaged in Greek life or something, maybe you are not that prone to leave. You have your friends. You go out, you hang out with your friends. It's like a good feeling, good environment, and maybe that might change your mind. Employment, maybe you are employed somewhere in a campus, meaning you got something for a job, you got something for expenses. Maybe you are just having a good time, in your working environment. So those kind of factors, those kind of data we don't have. So we are trying to get that data. And yeah, it's almost a semester trying to get that data, but we are trying. I think we'll eventually get that soon. And as I told you, we did something called logistic regression. I know you guys have heard that or not. It's like, like linear regression, there is another something called logistic regression. Yeah, that's technical. little bit. So we have used that algorithm, and there are thousands. You might have something called decision tree. Decision tree also an algorithm. It can also help to predict something. That's a machine learning algorithm which is used widely in one of the best working algorithms. I love decision tree. It's easy. So there are thousands of these algorithms. And we kind of already made a prototype, like we are making a website, based on our finding, so that advisor can go to that website, push the data or information of the student, like this, and it will show you the results. Okay, the probability for leaving this particular student is 60%, and maybe, okay, not that bad. If somebody is 80%, maybe, oh, there's a red flag, we gotta work on that. So we are making a user interactive web app, for the non-technical users, definitely. So we just wanna show something real nice, good, just the results so that they can act. All right, any questions? So if anybody wanna join our People Analytics Lab, Dr. Chris is right there, you might have taken classes. So you guys have to know because he's in the Department of Management and Marketing. His office is downstairs, definitely. You can contact him, you can talk to him about how to join the lab if you are interested. If you really want to be into this field, you can also contact me. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Do you guys have any other questions about data analytics, or anything else in general? I'll try to answer.
I have a question. What are your future plans? So what is next after?
Oh, what is next? Wow. Okay. Right now, I'm planning to do a grad school. So I'm planning to do master in data science. So let's see. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm going my Minnesota State University. So yeah, that's my future plan. That's what. Does that answer your question? Yes. Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
So did you see the growth in data analytics, and that's what made you want to pursue or study that, or was it taking that CIS 370?
The first thing I started was I saw the growth at the same time also. Whenever I started, also, the first thing was I was like trying to find something. The one thing that triggered is like data analytics is like a numbers, I love numbers. I love numbers. I love doing something related to math. Seeing some numbers makes me happy, Like whenever I find the business applied side, that was like, boom, I got numbers. I got this business application. I know how to do little bit computings from the CIS, So it's like just mashed in the road. Yeah, definitely I had to work hard because CIS 370 is not like whenever you take that, you're gonna be a data analyst. Like, no. That's not the truth. It's just a swing you apart. Because after CIS 370, I did that 8 months of data science course in R. It's like a 90 hours, 22 modules. It just goes on and on, So that's the thing, but there is also growth going on, definitely. But my thing was, I got so interested. And whenever I step into data analytics, I found that machine learning is not that far. And everybody is hyped about machine learning, whenever they say, but I found that if you are good in a data analytics, the machine learning is not that far. It's just one step away. And if you go to that machine learning, artificial intelligence is just one step away. So, I have done some projects in classifying my images in a German Shepherd images, definitely, which was like using some, classification algorithms. And yeah, I never made that algorithm by my own. It's about somebody has a hammer, somebody already made the hammer. I just use that hammer. And that's a free hammer, anybody can use it. It's free, it's online, it's free, you can use it. You just need to know when to use it, like what's the right time to use it, what's the problem, you have to use it. So that's the thing. So I always say there is two sides of data analytics. One is like a research based, like you do all the research kind of thing, nits and grits of everything. One is like an applied side. You don't have to know how the algorithm works. You just have to know how to use that algorithm to solve a problem. You don't have to make it. So that's it. That answers.
Yes.
Has your experience with analytics and stuff helped you in the business 490 project yet?
Sorry, business.
Yeah, for the 490 project,
495?
490 with cash.
490. Oh, BSC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good class, by the way. Like how I end up in that, or
No. Like, is it helping you in the project? Your data analytics?
I think the thing is, it's really helpful, like averaging at some time, because whenever you see a problem, right now we are doing also a data analytics competition, and we are dealing with something with a housing data problem, you know, like a housing real estate thing. So if you are a finance major without the real estate thing, then you have a better understanding of that problem. So that's the thing, like any knowledge is useful. So like whatever I learn, it just gives me like try to find the optimal solution. And I feel like that's a really helpful class. The good thing is I'll think like a business person, you know, I'll not think like engineer or like a software developer or IT person, you know. It's a good thinking because like a businessman thinks in an optimal way. They think of a lot of variables, you know. They think of what is my cost, is my budget gonna sustain this one or not? How is my marketing doing? Can I push this to the marketing department or not? So that's a really helpful, like knowing the business domain knowledge, and that's gonna be really helpful. I'm shorting on that. All right. Any other questions?
Is there
I have a question
want to
for
work?
Mama.
Is there a certain place you want to work, like once you're completely done with school?
I don't know. I haven't like really distance with the working because I have a couple of friends working. They always complain about the work in front of me, and I was like, do work, you know? Like school is much easier doing working, you know? They are saying, my boss has given this much of work, my boss has, like they are always, you know? I was like, huh. But the main thing of doing masters for me is, like I'm still curious, and as I told you, I haven't touched even a 5% of whatever is in this field. So I was like, I want to explore more, you know, let's see. Then after masters, maybe let's see if I get a job. But I'm more towards like a studying rather than a job. So my future plan is definitely going for a doctorate or something related. But let's see what happens.
What's your plans after school?
After school?
Yeah, if you decide not to get a job.
Oh yeah, I'm going for a grad school.
Yeah, so like after grad school, have you like looked past?
PhD. There's another grad school. So that's what I'm planning. I don't plan so much in the future, you know. I just plan for the two years only, you know. Okay, there is a grad school, then I'll think again, like, okay, grad school is finished, what I have to do. But right now, I'm still kind of taking my time, and let's see how it goes. I still need to figure out what is the exact field that kind of triggers me or interests me. Then definitely PhD. Otherwise, I can definitely find something, job or something different. Anything else?
I think someone on Zoom had a question.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they typed it in.
Oh yeah, there is chat. Oh, what type of Dylan? Okay, what type of person would best fit this study? Any type of person. I told you this field is applied in any domain. Accounting, finance, you know, everything. You just have to have that little interest on solving problem. Like, you know, if you love solving problems, you know, if you love finding patterns, you know, that it is. Any type of person is a good fit for this thing, Dylan. So yeah, go for it. You know, try it. You know, you can always try. You know, I was saying like you it's not like you go in then you cannot come back. You know, you can go in then come back also. So just try it. You can try. But the one suggestion I would always give is that technical field is growing. We all know that. We all know that. Like, we cannot escape from this field. We can't anywhere in any domain. So if we have, I'm not saying be a pro at this or pro at programming, pro at everything. If you just know the basics also, like just a basic understanding of these things, it's gonna be much more helpful in your further journey. That's a real information, and that's a real suggestion for everyone. Any other questions?
Oh, I think someone else just wrote.
Oh. Oh my God, that's a hard question. If you're in an interview, how would you differentiate yourself from other candidates? Wow, what would I say? Again, it depends on what kind of job I am applying, Caitlin. But I never think of that thing. I never applied to a job, I applied to colleges. But definitely, I don't have answer.
Maybe like the programs that you can use, one way.
Yeah, I can use my projects, like I have worked on some of the projects. And as I told you, it depends upon what kind of job I'm applying. If the job requirement is somebody who is asking to find, they are dealing with like attrition modeling, they are doing with the business analyst, someone they need like a technical as well as business person, then I can say, I got a good technical skills. I know programming, I know mathematics, I know these technical skills, as well as I have a good skills of a business person also. I can like kind of communicate my findings to a business person also, So I think that's gonna be, and I think that's gonna be a good kind of thing, because the one problem that they see the engineers and those person that I have seen or I have heard is that like they cannot communicate their answers to the stakeholders, like, and that's the bigger problem. And that makes sense because engineer doesn't know about accounting, finance, business communication, and all those things, and business people doesn't know what engineering is, and there is that communication gap. But we being in this technical field as well as in a business field, we know everything and we can be that bridge. I have seen a lot of people have found a job and a career in that middle field, being a bridge. They know this technical part also, they know how to write a code, read a code, they know how to convince their business person. What does that mean? What is trying to take? All right, do a cool dance. Ooh, yeah, love to see you later. Any other questions?
Is there an area of data analytics that you're interested in? Like, are you interested in business and marketing kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's why also I'm gonna go to graduate school. Is that I still need to pinpoint what is really that excites me. Right now I'm excited looking at data analytics thing. I'm interested. I'm excited to any other thing. So that's why I want to take time, just to realize, okay, what's that thing that really excites me? But I love solving business problem, making like a business conclusion, organizational problem, making some decisions. I'm not interested in like doing this AI stuff, like this hi-fi AI stuff. I'm more kind of onto that lower place where you can like do a smaller business problem for a small context, maybe for a local business. So smaller problems, they don't need AI. They can do it with statistics. So that's my thing is like, and the problem with the AI is there is something called black box. They call AI. It means the results of some of the advanced AI you cannot interpret. It will show you why this is a cat image, why this is a dog image, but it doesn't tell you like, it will show you this is a cat image and this is a dog image, but it will not show you why you did that. If you ask AI, why did you say that like this is a cat? There is no answer and they are still dealing with that one. And that's a bigger problem, You have seen, sometimes Amazon, you have heard that news. It's tagged kind of congressperson or somewhere as a prisoner or something. That's bad. You have seen this thing, you did sometimes snap that filter and you like what's my age and it shows you like a 50 years old, you're like, I don't look like 50. But if you ask why it shows that 50, is that it doesn't have answer. It cannot give answer, and they are still trying to figure out. And that's why that's a different domain. Like why that's happening is like explaining those things, and that's another domain. And I love that domain also because we don't know. Because of that, a lot of discrimination has happened, and I'm like kind of opposing to that thing, like why that happened, we don't know, so why we use that? So that's why I'm on a lower field where I can explain, like I can explain who left the college, why left the college. If I put this in the neural network, you might have heard this, or AI, the AI can tell what are the factors that make them leave. It will just say this person left, this person is here, but it will not say why. But this statistical model will say why. So that's why I'm not. I tried that thing a couple of semesters ago. It's like a fascinating field, but again, I just want to make a conclusion, like a decision. That's why I'm in the data analytics and the data science field. That a little bit bottom part. All right.
Not really a question, just kind of like a suggestion maybe. You sound like you do have like a very thorough business mindset, and you obviously have a very thorough computer analytics mindset. So you have thought about maybe like opening up your own firm and maybe have an IT technician work for you.
Yeah, that's not opening up a firm, but one plan is, because I'm a tutor, I work in a tutoring center. It's like opening my own, like a technical institute. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time. Like opening maybe some, academic field or something where I can teach like this data analytics tools, because a lot of people doesn't know the power of data. A lot of people doesn't know what this field can do to promote their business. So that's my whole thing. That's the whole purpose of being in this class and doing this presentation. I want to make people data aware. I want to like let people know like data is powerful. We can do a lot of things right. And that's my whole purpose, and that's my kind of vision, trying to,
Doing it without having to go to college for 4 or 5 years. You
yeah.
can sum it up in about a year or 2.
So that's my vision. Let's see where I will go.
Are more girls or boys in the field?
Sorry?
Are more girls or boys in the field?
I have seen, to me, like couple of, it's like a diverse field. I have seen both, like, I love one, I forgot, Casey something. She's a chief decision scientist at Google, and I watch sometimes her TikTok. She's like one of my best. She does a fascinating things, and I have seen, I look at the LinkedIn, I think there's a lot of girls. So don't think that, girls have more. I think girls makes more good decisions than boys. So don't think that. There is like a same proportion of the people I have seen. And yeah, I think if you are interested, it doesn't matter. It's just the interest that you have to build. Doesn't matter. Any other questions?
I think you got.
Oh my God. What would you recommend to do as a graduating semester to get more experience with data analytics? All right, Adam, the one good thing about being in a technical field is, like I have all those things from internet. I haven't paid a penny to learn all those things. I haven't paid a penny. I never had to pay a penny to learn all those things. That's the good thing about data science, like this technical field. They all are something, they call it like open source. You might have heard this. Like, you go to the Photoshop, it's like a $19 per month. Then you go to like GMB or something for the Linux or something, like, we have this open source software which does the same thing like a Photoshop, but which is free. So everything in analytics or like a technical field is like kind of free. There's a thousand of people on YouTube, good people. They are like people who work in a analytics field. So I would say, and I think you have one good resource is a data camp. So it's a paid kind of thing, but if you are interested, I think talk to Dr. Chris, then he can assign you into that course, and you can do the course online. I think staff has kind of college staff or college faculty have the access. I don't know how, and I have asked Dr. Chris, Dr. Anne-Marie a lot of time, can you assign me to this course? I'm really interested, and I did that course. I learned that. YouTube, thousands of videos you can find. Just throw it anywhere. There's a lot and lots of books which are totally free. Online books, totally free. Print it, do whatever, they are free. So I think internet is a good source, and I think I have learned a lot from internet, like a lot. More than what I have learned for the analytics in the classroom. I have learned from the internet, because like in my free time, just go to the YouTube video, watch a YouTube video. Every programming software is free. R is free. Python is free. Excel is free. I don't know. I think they have a subscription, but a college student is free. But R and Python are totally free. You can use it. So you don't have to pay a penny. That's the thing. All right, Adam, I think that answers. So go with some of the online resources, data camp. I think the first initial courses are kind of free, basic courses. But if you want to enroll in, just ask, I think, Dr. Chris, Dr. Anne-Marie. I think those who teaches CIS 370, and I have talked with them, and they said if somebody comes and says, I want to enroll in this class, they said they will be more than happy to make them join into that. So I already talked about that. So you can, if you are interested. Otherwise, YouTube, whoever invented YouTube, that's a great person. All right. Any other questions?
No other questions? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, that's a lot of audience, and I loved it. Really great questions, and I'm more than, I'm really happy to be here and explain this to things. If you guys have any questions, you can email me or you can talk to Dr. Chris. Also, feel free to go to Nicholls' office or something, or you can just call it, email me, and we'll be more than happy to assist you on anything. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, all right. I think. All right. Thank you so much.